Hi there, folks. This is JB at TBD, reminding you that today's episode is more than likely brought to you by Squarespace. It's an all-in-one website building platform that gives you everything you need. So just trust all of us. Go on down, give it a shot. You can start the free trial without any obligation to purchase anything. So just see what it's got, see if you like it or not. Try it on. And then tell them we sent you. How? I don't know. Send them an email or something. We don't have anything worked up yet where they can just know.
TBD starts now.
Hey, listeners, you're back to TBD, JB and JB.
Oh, it is another exciting week here at TBD Studios.
I think I might change it to the ballroom.
Oh, we've determined a name for the studio.
What do you think?
I think I could throw down a couple ballroom blitzes in here.
Okay, well, we can do a ballroom.
It's a ballroom blitz, and we got like a song already made. If we ever need to,
definitely
promote
the studio.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just stick with the ballroom.
Yeah.
It's TBD, and what do you want to do today on TBD?
Well, I got a few things I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Not a big long list. We're still not quite ready to do our next mini-sode.
We thought about it.
Well, we thought we were gonna do it, but Jonathan
Davis, he's busy.
Old Jay Davis, he wasn't able to come out today. But we're gonna try to do some fang dangling. Get him out here in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll have our corn mini-sode with John Davis.
That's right. Jonathan Davis will be here. So last time on TBD, we talked about Game of Thrones.
Oh, we had an extensive conversation about old GOT.
Oh, I left the air conditioner on, so it's going to be turning on during our
I wonder if we
spiel.
can hear it.
Well, fuck it.
Let's find out. Listeners, let us know. Can you tell that the air conditioner just
Is
kicked
this guy
on
a
about
big fucking idiot
15
for not
seconds
turning
ago?
his shit off?
Yeah,
So-
let us know. Send it in your tweets.
Yeah. To where would they send them, actually?
Well,
If they wanted to send them to JB, they would send them to...
Well, we set up a tentative Twitter account.
So
Is
it's
it
called...
Tweeter?
It's at tentative tweeter?
No, that would have been awesome. We should have thought of that.
We should look into that.
That might change to that.
Well, you know what? If you wanted to tweet to JB, you could tweet at shibbly bibbly boop.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's me.
And at present, mine is TBD DOS Podcast.
No, that's because we're thinking about possibly
It's one of the names.
converting.
Yeah, it's a name
So
of the
we
hat.
jumped on that handle.
Yeah, we're trying to snatch up.
One of our...
Snadge?
Snadge?
Snadging.
Let's use it.
That's
Let's
like
use it.
a-
Snadge.
I
Why
feel
don't you
like-
take that back and say we're trying to snadge up?
Oh, we're snatching it up.
Yeah,
I don't have to take it
We're
back.
going to snadge up all the different podcast names.
Snatch up every one we can find.
Yeah. So speaking of some podcast names, I was thinking about calling our podcast Podrick Podcast.
Ooh, the old Podrick Podcast.
Yeah. How do you think about that? Of course, it would be all about Podrick Payne.
Yeah, I assume
Yeah,
we would
well,
just sit down and just talk about Podrick Payne 24/7
Right.
if possible.
It would be a complete compendium.
Well, I mean, when you start peeling away the onion of the most important character in a series as epic as Game of Thrones, the material just writes itself, basically.
Exactly. We could be here for days.
Yeah. So, okay.
Okay,
That's a good
so
one.
that's one.
That's a good one.
What about Podcast General?
Podcast General.
Kinda like
the general of all podcasts kind of thing?
Well, more of like general as in like a...
Like a general store?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, so we would sell various
we talk
items
about
and
we
goods.
talk about every item in
A
the
general store.
On this day we talk about
Yeah,
wheelbarrows
dairies.
or
Okay. Or
shovels,
garden tools.
and then the next day we'll talk about refrigerators and blenders.
Yeah, that'd be, I kind of
So
like that. I like
podcast general.
podcast general.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So reverse that, Lieutenant Podcast.
Ooh, okay. So this one would be a little less formal, but still,
Right.
right. Still on the same token. So Lieutenant Podcast.
Yeah.
What would we talk about on old Lieutenant Podcast?
Well, we would talk about lieutenants. Lieutenant Dan.
Ooh, that was a good. That's at least.
Yeah, Lieutenant Dan Taylor is pretty
3
much
to
the
4
inspiration
episodes.
of the show.
Well, yeah. I think everybody at home who's ever listened to an episode of TBD leading up to now knows that Lieutenant Dan is
One of our heroes.
I'd be dead right now if it wasn't for Lieutenant Dan. And not just because he pulled my father out of a flaming helicopter in Vietnam. They didn't show it in the movie, which I thought was kind of weird, but...
Well, you know, they didn't include every single
Yeah.
battle that Lieutenant Dan was in.
Oh, he was in so many.
You know, Lieutenant Dan was there long before Forrest Gump and Bubba got there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so he'd been there for months.
He's on his, like, 4th tour at that point.
Yeah. You know, his father before him and his father before him.
Actually,
his father before him. They all died in the war.
I actually have a theory about that.
Okay, tell me.
What if Lieutenant Dan is technically immortal?
He just kept reliving
the same kind of thing, like, because that's just all he knew.
It was like he had multiple lives, but every time he came back, he was just pretty much the same guy.
Right.
And he would join various branches of the military.
Yeah,
and fight
engage in
wars.
these engagements.
Yeah. Man, we really ought to just save this for the Lieutenant podcast.
Yeah, we're getting a little too in depth here.
Okay, hold on. We'll see. This is good. This is good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, that right there just shows the potency, the potential for the Lieutenant podcast.
That's true. That's true. Lieutenant podcast.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So yeah. Okay.
So what about you? Do you got anything? I said you had said that you've been doing some pondering.
Mainly, I've been thinking about the old DOS podcast.
Oh, the old DOS podcast. Oh, I really like the DOS podcast.
I do enjoy DOS podcast, and
really
it
like
still
DOS
kind
podcast.
of throws me off that nobody.
Well, there's a bit of German people.
I'm sure
because it's just basically them saying the podcast.
Yeah, but I feel like a
So-
lot of them would be like, "That sounds boring. Like, why would we just
Right.
call it the podcast?"
Well, I don't know. I feel like some of them are doing other things besides podcast, and then occasionally they record some audio.
Hey, you know what? I didn't even think to look up if there is an actual thing called the podcast.
Probably, I would assume
Yeah,
so.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously-
there's, thousands of podcasts.
But I just want to make it really clear right now, listeners. DOS podcast is not German.
No, sir.
It's not
at all.
It is digital audio streaming podcast.
That's right.
DOS podcast.
DOS podcast.
DOS podcast. You know, nothing German about it.
Nothing at all. You know, I have several other names here. You know, we could go into this for days if we wanted to.
Maybe we should just have a TBD podcast where we just talk about names.
Well, we're doing that now.
Well, I mean, we got a small segment, but
Okay, well, you know, there was only really a couple more that I really wanted to talk
hit me
about.
with the bests.
Okay, well, last episode we kind of finished with food safety podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I just really kind of like food safety podcast.
Right, a little OSHA. Give the people.
But did a little bit of looking around.
Mhm.
There's actually a food safety podcast. So that is not an option, really.
Why am I not listening to that? Is it food safety though? Right?
It's legitimate food safety.
Like OSHA compliant, serve safe, safety
Probably all
tips?
kinds of.
Did they talk about the danger temperatures of
They
for
talked
food?
about the zone, the
Okay.
danger zone.
The DZ?
70 is the peak.
That's not true.
70 is the peak.
135.
I meant the middle.
Yeah, definitely the middle.
Peak of the middle.
Yeah, that's the peak of the middle.
Okay.
It's a milestone. It's like
Okay.
the medium milestone of the danger zone.
Well,
And when you consider the temperature goes off into infinity in both directions,
that's true. It never stops.
I gotta say that now that I think about it, that sentence is probably not correct. I'm sure there has to be like a maximum heat, maximum cold.
I'm sure that there's a limit. Yes.
Yeah, I wonder. what those
Isn't
are.
it one
Didn't
of
do
those?
a lot of thermals.
Isn't it one of those measurements that goes into an infinity range where they acknowledge that at the end it's just greater than this continuing?
I wonder, but there
Like
could
is that
be
in like a Kelvin?
Kelvin or Fahrenheit. You know, I'll take either.
Okay, well that's how you live your life. When you need to decide if you need a coat or wear a hat, you know you might be a little cold outside, a little too hot. You want to know what temperature it is in Kelvin.
I can tell you the danger zone in Kelvin or Fahrenheit right now. If you'd
so
like
you
me to.
you can convert it then.
So it's 5 to 57
I see.
for Kelvin, or 41 to 135.
Well, shit.
Yeah,
You know your Kelvin.
I have my moments.
No, that's why you live your life by it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing an app
Uh-huh.
where we called people.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking about maybe we call Jeff,
I would love to call Jeff and find out what he thinks about
the TBD podcast.
TBD podcast.
Okay, well let's not jump right into that.
Okay.
I think you had actually brought something to the table today.
I
You wrote down a couple little
I bring a lot of things to this table.
Okay, well I guess you do bring half the show.
Also,
Tacos.
Yeah, I did bring some tacos to the
true.
table today.
Yeah.
And then they immediately disappeared.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to those tacos.
I
Must
know
have been-
exactly what happened to those
Oh,
tacos.
did they fall accidentally into my belly?
Yes.
Ah, well,
Yeah.
that's what happens.
Yeah, dangers of
It's an abyss.
leaving tacos about.
Yeah,
Well, Jason, one of the things I brought to the table today,
let's hear it.
you and I and Flounder, codename Flounder,
Codename Flounder.
we are attending a concert this
Oh, that's
weekend.
true. We're gonna go see OK Computer.
Yeah, the little OK Computer
Live action.
Radiohead tribute concert by the Youth Orchestra of San Antonio.
It's supposed to be pretty entertaining.
I'm looking forward to it. I haven't gotten to go to any of the rehearsals or anything, but I got to hear a run through of one of the songs, and I gotta say I'm pretty psyched about it.
Pretty impressed.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Oh,
this.
excellent. I am looking forward to it also. I was going to ask you if you wanted to do any plugs today, and you have plugged the old show.
Yeah, I'm plugging right now.
That's awesome.
Plugging away.
I feel good about that.
That's all. You see, I read your mind.
You did.
That's why we're good casting friends.
Is that our name? Are we casting friends?
Well, I mean,
We're cotangents and we're casting friends.
yeah, we have various.
We're just like two wizards on the town.
Yeah, basically, we're also wizards. I don't like to brag, but
No,
I
we
am
don't talk about it. It's
I'm
just,
a diviner. No big deal.
I'm an illusionist. Together, we are unstoppable.
We're a delusionist.
I really, really want to do a D&D character where I am like a squire or bound to the other players.
Right.
One other player in some way where, much like the Pacquiao and Mayweather characters that we invented
that's so
in
good.
the
Floyd Pacquiao.
episode 1. Yeah, Floyd Pacquiao, We got to do that on our D&D podcast.
Yeah, which
we're gonna do that soon.
I'm excited about doing. I'm
We need to
thinking
get some folks together for that.
we do. I'm
Yeah, we can put it on the. You know what we can do? We can put it on the Paper Pants Podcast Network.
Oh yeah.
We need more. We need more followers in the cult.
That's good. I mean, well, when we have all these paper pants laying around
Yeah, we need to fill them
with humans,
right?
or whatever.
So JB, what else you got for me?
Continuing on. With my previous statement. Yeah, so we're going to this concert this weekend. It's gonna be pretty entertaining. And I actually managed to talk one of the artists. It's possibly coming on the show with us.
No way.
Oh yeah.
That is beautiful. Which artist we talking about?
Well, I got an inside hand on this one.
Okay.
And it's going to be one Miss Nicolette Good.
Oh, really?
Singer-songwriter extraordinaire.
Okay, great. And she's gonna do how many tracks at the show?
One or two, I
One or
believe.
two?
It's like towards the end of
So
the
I'm
album.
assuming there's 10 songs on the album. I'm assuming they're going to do the album from start to finish.
Yes.
In the same order?
I believe so, yeah. So
Okay,
she's got like the last song or
So
last
she's
two
basically
songs.
would be equivalent of a headliner?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it goes on last.
Okay, well, that's great. I've actually heard... Now, I did not hear the song, but I came in right afterwards, and they said, you've just heard songs by Nicolette Good and various other on a radio station while I was driving my car around town.
Was that TPR or
It was
NPR?
90.1 KSYM, I believe.
Is that like SAC or...
I don't know. I don't believe it's a college.
Because I know Trinity has one in that area, but it's jazz. But that's awesome. that
Yeah,
she
no, it was
playing
cool.
That's pretty sweet.
It was good. I didn't actually get to hear the song.
That's pretty great that you
but
missed it.
I came in
Too late.
too late. Yeah, it's
the word.
typical of how I do things.
Well, that's okay. You're consistent.
I'm consistently late.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, the listeners do not know this, but right now, my good friend JB,
Oh, JB.
who is sitting across from me, is looking at me right now.
Okay.
And I've got incredibly neon hair, like neon green hair.
That's true. You do have green hair right now.
Every so often I forget about that. I'm not gonna lie. Like that one time.
Time that you scared me in my apartment.
Accidentally.
You came around the corner with your crazy painted face and your green hair, and you scared the daylights out of me, so to speak.
Yeah. So
I won't get into the details.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it was scary.
Yeah, it was a pretty scary night. It leads into things. So today, beautiful day, we had a screening at my movie theater that I'm presently at and will not be at by the time you people are hearing this.
So in like 2 weeks?
Well, this upcoming Tuesday, I will officially be working there 3 days in a row, and then I come back to the Bijou for 2 days, and then I'm over there forever.
Really? Wow.
So I've got like a total of 5 or 6 shifts left at the Bijou.
Wow, that's The end of an era.
Yeah, it's like 4 years.
I'm actually sad about that.
Yeah, we'll still go there and watch free movies.
Well, of course. I mean, I can go to any Santikos movie theater and watch free movies.
It's true.
Yeah, it's actually one of the best parts of being your friend.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
No, not really. Like doing podcasts with you, going on trips to Colorado,
Right.
hanging out, on a regular basis, paintball, Top Golf. None of these things really matter
Not even hold a candle.
to the free movies.
Oh, it's the
Yeah.
best thing. But going back into it, so we had a little performance of Batman. Maybe you've heard
right.
of it.
Batman. Yeah, I've
The
heard of Batman.
original, not
The
the original
documentary
original.
Batman? The documentary?
No. This one is the fictional
Oh, the
story, the
fictional.
kind of fictionalized,
Like the biopic.
Yeah, like the
The
historical, like based on
So
true events.
they
thing.
made several biopics.
This is the one, the first Michael Keaton Batman, done back in '89.
Okay. So that's the original biopic?
Or
Or was there a previous?
I
Oh, I
believe
guess they
Adam
had.
West had
Yeah, and
a
they
biopic.
had the TV series in the 60s, was it?
And the animated.
Right. They've had
thing.
several.
Yeah.
Batman, he's been around for a long time.
Apparently, yeah.
And
like, I
they've
didn't
been
know about
making different renditions of his life just over and over and over again.
Yeah,
They just
poor-
don't.
It's got to be rough getting
It's
that
like-
just rubbed in your face.
He must be one of the most popular legends there ever was.
Yeah.
The living legends.
Yeah, because everyone knows that he's retired, and
Our children are going to watch new Batmans with some actor that doesn't even exist yet.
yeah,
It's just they're just gonna talk about Batman again.
yeah.
Bruce Wayne again. But he's very important.
Next time he should be Mexican. Next
they
movie.
need to straighten that out.
Yeah, because I'm getting tired of all these
straight white males.
Yes, white superheroes
You know?
walking around. We should just, instead of coming up with new heroes that are diverse and eclectic, we should just change the ethnicity of existing heroes. That seems like the most logical decision.
Yeah, we
that
got
one
to
could come to.
erase the hate.
Yeah,
The Sony hacked emails talked about how they wanted their Spider-Man to be straight and white.
almost like the comic book character. which-
Almost just like the original comic book character
almost-
that they're trying to emulate.
Like, so you're telling me that these fucking bigots in Hollywood want to use the facts laid out in the Spider-Man comic book
Yeah, it's
to make
ridiculous.
the movie? Oh my god.
This might as well just be Change the Hate podcast.
Yeah. You know what? I just find it incredibly racist when characters that are written white are played by white people on shows and movies. Like, it's just like, why is he still white? I don't understand. That's some racist
I guess
ass
it's
shit.
just the American way, so to speak.
Yeah, well, you
Well,
know.
I'm getting pretty tired of it.
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll fix that up.
I'm happy that they stopped selling Confederate flags on Amazon.
Oh, did they?
Are you, Josh? Let me ask you this: Are
yeah,
you
what's up?
aware why they did this? Yeah, are you current in the news today, sir?
Yeah, no, I know about the horribleness.
The horrible
that took
things that
place.
just took place. Okay.
Okay, let's. I hate to get a little real here.
Are we talking about real life?
Talk about real life.
Oh man, we're back to talking about real life, folks.
We're here talking about real life, and we're talking about some.
This is the Change the Hate podcast.
Yeah, just this,
Talking about real life.
Yeah.
Okay.
So getting a little on the serious side here. Yeah, no, I know why they're doing that whole bit, and yeah, it's a pretty terrible situation. It's a systemic problem. Obviously, this is not anything new, which is horrible. I think, and this is actually further along in my notes, that old Johnny Stewart probably handled it best over at the Daily Show.
What did he say?
Have you not seen this?
Is Jonathan Stewart still currently the host? I know
He's got like 5 weeks left or something
Okay,
like that. Like
okay.
and he's even in his monologue, I guess,
Right.
for the episode. He even talks about. He's like, look, normally we'd make up some jokes. I'd make a face or two. But
Right.
Maybe it's because I'm coming to the end of my time here, or maybe it's because I've been doing this for so long. But I don't have any jokes. It's this, and then he started talking about obviously how like the other news, like Fox News and various other news affiliates
What are they?
are. Well, the big thing is they're treating this kid like he's like a crazy person, and that we need to not rush the judgment. This
I
isn't
see,
a
I
racial
see.
thing.
Oh,
There's
no,
sense-
that's
and of course
total
they
bullshit.
Yeah, and of course they immediately jump on this thing where it's just like there's no racism in America at all.
Oh, just trying to push down the
Yeah,
the
like
realization.
this wasn't a racial thing. Racism doesn't
That's
exist.
just trying to
this
push
is just
it
some
away,
crazy
cover it up.
kid.
That's what they always do.
Doing some craziness.
Yeah,
you
there's
know?
so much. There's so much of that with all different aspects of our existence here in America
But once
and
again,
around the world, especially.
And I hate to circle back around to this, but 87 point
0.5 or
Yeah.
82.5 or what was the
87,
number?
I think 87.
Scroll down your
is
newsbook
fine.
feed for 30 seconds
Yeah.
before you see if you're annoyed.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, I
it's-
agree with you, man.
Yeah, just people are. We need a good reset. There's a lot of people out there.
You
that
know
just
what?
Have these horrible.
I'm going to go
mindsets.
ahead and tell you, since we're talking about real life
Mhm.
and we're on the subject of people
Right.
and how we think there's too many, I got to tell you something, Josh.
Hit me.
I myself and Codename Flounder, we have created a human,
Oh wow.
and it is currently growing inside of her sac that resides in her legs. I'm not quite sure where
I don't
it
know
is.
where they're.
But anyways,
birthing
it's in
sacs
there somewhere. The
are
birth sac
located.
is, I think it's attached to her lower back.
It might be like isn't it like
So-
an external thing?
I think, yeah.
back
She's got to
there
wear a
for the first
hoodie
month?
to cover it
Yeah,
up.
that's why they have
That's how you get
maternity
decent.
clothes.
Right. It's to cover your birth sac.
Made of Kevlar for protective purposes.
It was not ideal, but that's what happens.
yeah, well, you know my opinion on having.
Making humans?
Yeah,
What is your opinion on making
I
humans?
don't want to do that.
Yeah, that was my opinion as well. I had
Yeah.
an equally staunch opinion about it.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
But it is currently happening.
Okay, well, I mean,
You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to let it get in the way of the TBD podcast.
well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Maybe we name the kid TBD so
Oh, that
that
would
it's
be
like
perfect.
a walking, talking advertisement for the
Yeah,
show.
it could just pretty much function as a marketing system.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so we've got it settled.
do you think?
Well,
we
you know what
can
that'll
use it-
do is pretty much pay for it. Because
Yeah,
that's pretty
tax
much what
write-off.
I'm worried about.
Tax write-off.
Yeah,
too.
it's
So
gonna
we
be a
could
thing.
probably we have to keep this thing alive. So here's all of the food and
Right, and since you're part of
clothing
TBD,
and
you'll help.
rent,
Yeah.
and well, I mean, you get that all back.
Oh,
You
right.
You get that back on your taxes.
Well, this
bro.
is our investment.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
It's good. Yeah, congratulations. Well,
I
you
don't
know,
accept your greetings.
Well, it's
What is the opposite of condolence when you're?
no, I'm giving you condolences.
Is this a positive condolences?
Yeah, it's a positive condolence.
Okay, well, I don't
because here's the thing, it's not ideal, and it's not.
no, it'll be good.
Yeah, it's not the greatest thing in the world to happen to people who don't necessarily want to have kids.
Right.
But the big thing is, in my personal opinion, is I feel you are at a place in your life where you can actually raise, like you're set up
Right. No, I feel you.
financially and emotionally,
Well,
developmentally.
financially,
Well, it's not.
almost.
No, yeah,
Almost.
most people aren't.
Well, no one's ready.
Yeah, no
right,
one's really
as they
ready.
say.
But you're much closer than 99% of the people that actually do have kids.
Well, we'll see.
So that means, how old are you, Jason?
I'm 29.
On a niner. So
Yep,
you will
so I will be 30 years old when it is birthed from the sac.
Okay, so that
When it
puts.
falls out of the lower back
So
or
you'll
the neck
be
somewhere.
You'll be 51 when it is 21.
That's true. And I pray that it does not produce a human
Oh, God.
that I then have to take care of.
No, you instill that shit into whatever it is.
Right. Because then I will not be free of the child raising process. So
40-ish years. Total
yeah,
right there?
40-ish years if we're having another one at 21.
If you don't die.
I probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't make it through that.
So until your death.
Right. And I hope they
Potentially.
hear this. They're going to hear this.
Yeah, like
at the will reading. They're going to play this
Daddy-
episode.
if daddy died, it's your fault. Not completely. Don't start crying.
Well,
Jesus.
they'll listen to the episode
Yeah,
and they'll
it's-
understand.
It's only like 20% your fault. That's not even a majority.
No. You want to take a break?
I think we are running long on a break. I think we need to take like a double break here.
Okay, well, let's conclude talking about real life.
yeah,
We're
talking about real
finally
life.
done.
Yeah, we'll break it off and then come back.
Okay.
This week's episode is partially brought to you by procrastination. I didn't finish writing this ad.
So we're calling Jeff. He's not going to pick up. Hutch. Answer the phone. You're live on the radio.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 2 1
Should we leave
0
him a message?
5 5.
Do you want to leave Jeff Hutchins a message?
5 0 6 is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
Hey, Jeff. You're on with TBD, JB and JB.
We tried to call you for this exclusive giveaway, but apparently you were uninterested.
Yeah, you don't take the interview, you don't get the prize.
All right, buddy. You have yourself a great night, and we're really sorry you lost out on those tickets to Radiohead.
Listen to the podcast. So we're done with calling Jeff.
Yeah, we wanted to open up
The segment, if you will?
Yeah, this segment.
Well, we had talked about way earlier in the show that we were going to call people.
Yeah.
And we got a little bit late, and nobody wants to talk.
Yeah, apparently people are just too good.
People have to go to
us.
school and work and stupid bullshit.
It's dumb.
You kind of got cut off maybe earlier,
Well-
and you didn't get to tell me about your screening and why
Yeah.
you have green hair.
So we had the screening, and I'm just kind of helping getting it set up, setting up all these tables. Apparently we're showing Batman. In the middle of all this, I kind of let them know that I dressed up as Joker for Halloween a couple of years ago.
Okay, I recall.
Yeah, and then I dressed up for him again a couple of years after
Yeah, you've
that.
done it frequently.
Like 3 times in 6 years.
I
It's not too
guess.
bad.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like every time I see you, you're wearing that fucking costume.
Well, I guess today would be the 4th time I've worn it ever.
Okay.
But I put a lot of time and effort into that
Yeah,
thing.
well, we hang out every single day, so
Yeah, it's
every
not-
time you've worn it, I've seen you.
No, that's actually not true on this one.
What's not true?
You were not there when I was in New Orleans with
Oh.
this. Yeah.
Hey, quick side note.
Yeah, let's
Can we
it.
unplug your cell phone? Because it's making a noise. Yeah.
What? What noise?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, did you?
It's okay. The listener wants to hear the raw details.
Yeah, they need that. It makes us.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes
It
it
brings
seem
us
more
back-
live.
yeah, it
you
brings
know?
us back down
They're
to
like, oh
earth, you know?
shit, they're real people, and they have a little static.
Just a little bit, folks.
Yeah. So.
So you're telling
they
me
saw
that you
They saw my outfit pictures.
that you dressed
via
up
picture.
like the Joker for
So I
work.
jumped into my Joker outfit, and that got me thinking. You know?
Okay.
I think maybe the best part of Batman,
The documentary or the movie, cartoon / series?
all of them, all of them,
okay,
and the
okay.
real life guy.
Okay.
The best part of him is honestly he's got the best bad guys. Pretty awesome.
You
bad
know, he
guys.
has fought in quite a few villains in his
It's
day.
true. He
Yeah.
has battled
Various battles.
various battles.
Yes.
He,
Are you
I think
talking
he
about
once.
different Beatles.
Well, I think he battled the Beatles. Once.
Beatles.
Battles the Beatles.
Yeah, the Beatle battle.
Beatle battle.
How about Beatle battle podcast?
Oh, that would be a good one too. Write that down.
Okay, we'll write that down. Cody, write that down. Cody's writing vigorously. Yeah. Okay. That's enough. Cody.
Oh, sorry. I was underlining it. I think he was just underlining it.
Yeah.
We have got to stop saying Cody.
Okay. Is
That is very obviously from a different podcast. We've never made that joke before.
okay? Do you want to redo that?
No, we don't have to.
Let's replay that.
Okay. Well, I know it was pretty organic. I think we can just cut this bit out. It's fine.
Okay, I'll
I
try
just
not
think-
to. I will.
Try not to Cody it.
I won't Cody it anymore. I've been saying Cody a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the past, I don't know if you've ever referred to a fictitious person who mans our soundboard.
No, but this is TBD.
No, I
You
get
never
that.
know what's going to happen.
That's true. We could have a guest engineer from another podcast and
Yeah,
not
well,
show up, and then
he could,
us pretend like he did.
There's other people that are a part of the Paper Pants podcasting
true.
network.
Really? Really cool.
Yeah, we have several members of the team. You know what? You've been off doing recap
That's
downs
true.
like
Yeah.
5 days a week. You don't know what the hell's going on
That's
around
true.
here.
I
Okay.
do not. I'm out of touch.
Yeah.
I think I need to buy like a hoodie and some blue jeans and some sandals and just get back to my
Relax.
roots.
Okay.
You know.
So speaking of roots,
Are we going to talk about that awesome movie? I actually thought we were about to talk about Thor 2.
Thor 2.
Well, I thought you were referring to the roots of Yggdrasil, the tree of life
Right.
in Norse mythology.
Oh, okay.
But I guess we were on
Well,
different
let's
pages.
let's talk about Yggdrasil.
Oh, you old Yads?
Yeah, isn't that a feminine medicine?
Is it?
I think Yggdrasil sounds
Yggdrasil.
like let's do an ad for Yggdrasil.
Okay, so what is it? What is it going to be for? What are
Well, it's
feminine
gonna be-
issues? Is that what you said?
It's going to be in the crotchal region. Okay.
Okay. Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil. And you need it to, maybe you're feeling a bit hot and sweaty.
Okay.
And you might use it to combat that.
Okay. All right. I think I got something locked away.
Okay. Let
And
me hear what you got.
we're trying to appeal to
The roots of Yggdrasil.
Okay.
And we're trying to appeal to Norse women.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know.
Ladies, are you concerned about trolls trying to live in your swamp-like nether regions? Well, fear no more. Yggdrasil's roots are here to save the day. They'll dry you up, but not too much, and take care of any troll problems at the same time.
That was great.
Thank you.
So you dressed up like the Joker at work.
I did, and that got me thinking about the bad guys, and I had a question for you, Jason.
What's your question?
It's the whole basis of this podcast today.
This is the Lieutenant podcast, this is podcast
still
general?
TBD.
This is
still
TBD.
TBD. I actually got some ideas about the.
So this is not DOS podcast.
Well, here, let me throw this action at you.
Okay.
As just a little thought here. What if we did a string of like one-shot TBD series podcasts, and each one, like we do the Lieutenant podcast
I like
for
that.
one
that.
cast. We do
Podcast general.
podcast general, DOS podcast,
food safety podcast.
Yeah, food safety. Well, if you say somebody's already got it locked down, I feel weird
it's
muscling into someone else's territory. We could try it.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do a little.
Well, we can definitely do the Randall Copcast.
Oh, well, Randall Copcast is already on the books, I think.
Right.
We got to get on that one.
Scheduled. Now, I have another one. It's called Nouth Sorth.
Nouth Sorth.
Now, that's north and south, but you switch
some of the letters.
The U and the R.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Why would
Nouth
we-
Sorth.
Why are we doing that? Like, what's the meaning behind the switch?
It's just to relate to the common man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that.
This is a podcast about geography and the inhabitants of regions.
Like, yeah, okay, I see that. I can.
So a little bit of what do you call
geography? A little.
Well, it's more of an anthropology based podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's basically called Nouth Sorth, an anthropology podcast.
Well, that sounds pretty exciting.
Okay. So, anyways,
throw that on our bundle of sticks that we're planning on burning.
Oh, we can't forget about Fart Podcast.
Oh, well, that's obviously. Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone we've mentioned up till now will also do.
You dressed up like the Joker at work. You took a lot of pictures of the folks.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
You had a good old time.
Yeah, it was a blast. It was a blasty blast. Nice way to end my.
Oh, yeah, because you're leaving.
Yeah.
So you're going out on a high note.
Yeah, like 5-6 shifts left.
Right.
I figure have a little fun. I'm doing a lot of work at the same time because I'm trying to get finished with every little weird thing I was working on, pass information to people who are now going to need to know about it.
Right.
Create
so
little
everything stays
things.
Running.
Yeah, smoothly.
Max capacity. Like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, like a train.
Which the Bijou certainly is not.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not a machine. We don't allow any flammable or inflammable oils in there.
Oh, I take barrels of oil in there all the time. Every time I go to the movie, I bring oil.
I keep
Haven't
telling
you
you
guys seen
to stop doing that. I'm never there when you show up.
Well,
and
no, I don't go to the movies when you're there. I go.
Is that why you won't sit next to me whenever we go watch movies? You have to sit in the back row.
Well, remember I told you how I was sneaking in food.
Yeah, I think
but
maybe
I
you
was
were also
sneaking in oil. No, I wasn't. There was no food. There was no food. It was just all oil barrels.
I was wondering why you had so much oil over your face and hands and clothing, and what that oil barrel was doing in the back of the theater.
We have to move on.
Okay, so
should we take a quick break?
Well, yeah,
no.
Okay. Well, I mean, we went a little long in the beginning. I think we can throw a break in here.
Okay,
and then I'll ask you the question.
Oh, the question.
A question. Well, I mean, this whole podcast has basically been
just
about
one question.
Well, it's been about the experience I had today at work. I mean, I feel and then everything else we've given is kind of.
I didn't know that. I guess up until now, I didn't realize that this show was about your day at work today.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, now I'm here. I'm present.
Yeah. Well,
so
I mean,
now I know.
Well, I don't think it started off as that, but I think it just.
So when we come back from break, we'll reset.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't even need to reset. I mean, I think we're powering through. Okay. I think we're good.
Well, let's do it.
We'll ask the question. I mean, that'll tie up this whole conversation we've been having, this whole cast.
Okay.
Weave it all together.
Okay.
In this one question.
Right.
Then throw down on a recap as opposed to throwing a recap down because it's a little late in the day. It's going to be hard to find children roaming the streets to get to build shoes.
We can't do that today.
So we'll have ourselves a little recapules, and then we'll end it for the folks. Let them take a little nap before they listen to our next podcast. So here comes the break. This break is brought to you by Costume Makeup. It'll stay on your face for 15 seconds in the way you want it to, and then 3 more weeks in the way you don't. And we are back from the break with TBD, JB and JB here.
I'm JB.
I'm also JB.
Oh, that was nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think you had a question.
I do. So
this is what this whole podcast is
yeah,
about.
Yeah. It's been leading up to this moment. All the information we've given you up to now, it's all just so you can comprehend what's about to happen right now. Okay. So everyone, remember everything that happened. If you need to, this would be an ideal time to just stop the cast, go back to the beginning, maybe listen to it one more time. Maybe go on Squarespace and create a website while you're doing it. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Just some advice. Friendly advice. So, JB.
Yes, sir, JB.
Dressed up like Joker. Had this crazy day.
Okay.
Was thinking about Batman.
Okay.
Thinking about.
Now you're thinking about Batman the documentary or Batman the movie / TV show?
Once again, all of them. All of them
okay.
combined together into one. Actually, the gentleman there that was dressed as Batman.
There was a Batman gentleman.
Oh, there was from Comic-Con, Alamo City Comic-Con.
Right.
Sent a Batman to us. He was like, "Yeah, here's a Batman."
That's pretty fantastic.
And I was talking to him, and he was. This is a little. I'm gonna go a little off topic here.
Well, hold on now.
Okay.
Was it Matt Damon, aka Jason Bourne, who was playing the Batman
in this situation? I didn't
today. No, today. At your work.
Yeah.
Because you know that old JB does superhero impersonations.
Oh, does he?
Well, he plays a superhero, so to speak, in the movies.
That's true. Like
Yeah.
he plays.
We're good friends.
Matt Damon.
No, yeah, he plays Matt Damon.
Yeah.
But JB.
Yeah.
He's coming on the show.
Oh, he's definitely going to come. We're going to have a JB, and JB episode.
Will that be JB to the third power?
I think JB to the third power. If it's one JB to the third power, I think that's still one JB.
I see.
I think you would have to multiply.
Well, I thought that JB to the third power would mean that JB times JB times JB.
Yeah, but if there's one JB times one JB.
Oh, okay, I see.
Times one JB.
Because the JB has to have a value.
Exactly. I guess it depends on the variable value of J and B.
Yeah, that's true.
That's rough.
We could sit here for days.
Yeah, that could be another cast.
Well,
we'll talk about it with old Jay Bourne.
When JB gets here.
Yeah, when JB's up
for his ep, it'll be JB to the third power. And we'll just break down trigonometry.
Yeah, and we've mentioned this
Algebra.
before. Due to the sensitive nature of his profession, he's not actually allowed to talk on the show. Just in case anyone gets confused when we get to that episode.
The disclaimers.
Yeah, this is just something we legally have to say because he's, maybe a spy. I'm not saying he's a spy because I don't want to get shot by a dart with some rare paralytic poison that came from some weird
a red dot floating.
I know, that's why I'm being very careful
right now.
Very careful with my words.
You do know JB's watching at all times.
Oh, why wouldn't he be?
Yeah.
He's like Santa Claus but with like a sniper rifle gun.
Right. He's like a mix of Kegel the elf on the shelf and
Kegel the assassin.
the American sniper.
Oh, okay. Well, a little different from what I thought that was going to go, but yeah. Okay.
Well, I like Bradley Cooper's.
Oh, he's so good.
Shoebox calves. So.
Oh, he's just made out of badass, and he dances really well.
I think you had a question. Maybe
I did.
the show. I think the show might have been about a question, but I don't recall.
It is. Okay. But before we get there, I do want to again just finish the story about talking to this Batman, right?
Oh, talking to Batman.
He was telling me, like, the first thing he said to me before he said hi or anything like that, he leaned in and he was like, my elementary school teacher, or like one of my teachers in elementary school, asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I told her Batman. And she sent me home with a note because she told me that, like, it was a ridiculous thing to want to be and that I would never do it. Here I am.
Here he is.
I was
so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we talked for a little bit about it.
It's inspiring.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, well, that's true. I mean, you can do whatever you want to be. And then he proceeded to go, true, if I had said I wanted to be an elderly black Asian lady, that might have been an issue.
He actually said that.
Yes, he did.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was quite hilarious. It was good times.
Got a good kick out of that. Huh?
Yeah, he and I had a lot of fun.
So did you tell your teacher in 3rd grade that you wanted to be Joker?
And
that
no.
She sent you a note home?
I wanted to be a mathematician, actually.
I
elementary
recall
school.
one point you told me you wanted to go to college for math,
Yeah.
which you did not do.
No, I did not.
No. Well, it's okay.
I learned a lot about math still.
Well, it's probably for the best because then you might not be here doing the TBD with JB and JB.
Exactly.
And this is what's most important.
I wouldn't have the story about my time in this Joker outfit, and I wouldn't be able to ask you this question.
Oh, what's the question?
JB.
Yeah, JB.
Thinking about Batman.
Okay, so this is Batman the movie or
In this particular instance,
the documentary?
I'm gonna say the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 6th, 7th, and 8th documentary.
Okay.
The 1st and 3rd animated documentary.
Okay.
Half of the live action televised documentary.
Right.
And 100% the actual real life Batman.
Okay. Please, the listeners on pins and needles.
Who is your favorite Batman villain?
Okay. This is a great question.
Yeah, hit me.
My favorite Batman villain. Now, my favorite Batman villain, he is in 100% of all Batman productions, whether they're movie, documentary, TV show, series. Somehow he gets in every single one. He goes by the name of Alfred Pennyworth.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's a real sly motherfucker.
Yeah. Sounds like he's your friend, but he's really taking your nice jewelries.
And he's always wearing, freshly pressed suits.
Yeah, what is that?
And he's offering you advice, fatherly advice, worldly advice. Bringing you, medication, drinks. Who knows if they have poison or arsenic or...
Is that organic?
Yeah.
Sandwich
is this
you're eating?
non-GMO? I mean,
what's going on
this
with
cardboard
that?
has to be free range.
He has an outfit that he wears just all the time. He has a supervillain outfit. Constantly see him in that little bow tie and
the little bow
black
tie
tux.
number. And you got the little coat-tails hanging down the bottom.
That's definitely
His shoes are very shiny.
Yeah, what are you, a conductor of evil?
What's going on
Alfred Pennyworth? That's an excellent choice,
here?
Jason.
So that's my favorite.
Mine?
You never expect him.
Yeah. And one day, that's how he's going to go out.
Yeah, that's how.
And if you remember that movie, he just basically abandons him.
Which movie?
The most recent one.
Oh, is that the one with Bane?
Yeah, with Bane.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie.
What?
Yep. I hear it's not so great.
It's not the best movie in the world, but it's fucking better than
half of the other shit that they made about Batman.
Yeah, I mean, it's
well,
somewhere.
either way,
I would put it in between Batman Begins and Dark Knight. Nothing is ever gonna topple Dark Knight for a while. I don't think.
True. So Batman. Batman cast, Batcast. Dude, we should do a podcast about bats.
Batcast, boom,
and
on the list.
Their habits and their tendencies and their migrating patterns and their sleep patterns.
That sounds good.
Batcast.
Yeah, it sounds like
a podcast about Batman.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you get a chance, or did you even hear about ye old President Obamskis going on to the Mark Maron WTF?
I did not get a chance to listen to the cast as of yet.
Okay.
But I did see one of those salon articles on Facebook about it. Opened it up and watched a Fox News segment.
Oh, tell me about the Fox News segment that you witnessed about this.
Well, I mean, for those of you who are unfamiliar with what Mr. Obama said, he used the quote unquote N-word.
Oh, heavens no.
Oh, yeah.
He said the N-word.
Yeah, completely. And
my goodness.
The context of the racial slurs that have been used openly in America's past. And how just because people don't call other people that to their face doesn't mean racism is just completely gone.
Okay, I agree with that.
And yeah, I mean that makes sense.
So what did the Fox News team have to say about Mr. Obama's comments?
Well, firstly, they did actually play the entirety of the clip. They didn't just play him saying just that word
over and over, just looped it.
Yeah, so I'm pretty proud of them for doing that. They actually played his whole thought. And it was well thought out, appropriate use of a word, I don't understand. It's just, anyway. And they just started ripping into him, not because of what he said, like not because of the statement that he made or the message behind what he's saying. They ignored that entirely, and they were just focusing on the fact that he used this word and that the president, isn't allowed to use racial slurs.
So were they focused on the fact that he actually said out the entirety of the N-word instead of just saying N-word, quote unquote N-word?
I don't even they never used the word N-word, I don't think.
No, I'm saying
but yeah,
that he said.
Yeah, exactly.
So because if he would have went onto this podcast and instead of saying
that word
saying N-word, quote unquote,
it is a really
it
fucked
never
up
would
word.
have made the news cycle.
You know how it's really fucked up? Because I just use the word fuck 3 or 4 fucking times in a row,
Okay,
and neither one of us will say the other word out loud.
Well,
it's so fucked up thing. It's just a really just everything behind it is so horrible and terrible.
It's pretty bad.
But the thought of not acknowledging the fact that it was a thing is significantly worse.
And he acknowledged it, and
Yeah,
he said it because he was talking about the subject of racism.
It pertained 100% to what he was talking about.
I feel like if he would have said anything different, it would have
have
taken
been-
away from
yeah.
what he said.
It was supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. It's supposed to be something that spurs something inside of you because it's fucked up. And the situation that he's talking about is fucked up.
And it happens on the daily.
Yeah, listen to what he's fucking saying. Don't scrutinize over the goddamn word. But that's what they did. They basically
And now
just
let me
went on and
ask
talked
you
about-
this:
Yeah.
the newscast.
Ah, yes.
The newscasters,
Yes.
me, the
Okay,
newscasters.
so,
Tell
yeah.
me about them. What ethnicity were the newscasters?
Well, it is one of the few times I have seen Fox News have 4 black news anchors
all at one time.
all at once.
And they
It's pretty
all
awesome.
collectively were ripping
I think
on the words that he said.
one of them might have been mildly in his defense.
Okay.
I think he tried his best to try to steer everyone to the
positive
topic.
side?
No, well, to
the
what
topic,
he was
okay.
saying as
To the
opposed to
topic,
what
right.
he said, I guess.
Opposed to the word, to the one word.
Yeah, the message, not the words.
Right, not the one word.
And of course, nobody else really gave a shit what he was
So
saying.
do you think that Fox News purposely
Yeah.
put
Oh, yeah.
these 4 particular newscasters together and actually swayed them to be offended, to basically cater to their viewing party or their viewing membership or everything that Fox News stands for?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's Fox News in a shell of nuts.
Right.
A shell of shitty nuts.
Peanuts, because it's the lowest nut.
Is it?
I think that the peanut is the lowest quality of nuts.
That is something I would
What are the-
enjoy. Hey, well, what about peanut butter, bro?
Well, peanut butter's pretty delicious.
Yeah. You know what they make that out of?
Peanuts.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
What about peanut oil?
I guess you use that for things.
Yeah, you use that for lots of. What about
What's the peanut cast?
peanut-based sauce?
Peanut-based sauce?
Dun, 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 dun,
Peanut cast.
dun, dun, dun. Yeah, we should totally do a peanut cast.
Everybody, you're back to peanut cast.
Oh man,
Popping peanuts right now, folks.
they're coming out with the Peanuts movie this
Are
year.
they?
We can do a peanut cast about the film.
We should do a before and after. Oh, I
well,
love
now
that.
that I'm going to be at the old
Palladiums.
Palladium.
Palladiums? How do you say that?
Palladiums.
Palladiums. Okay, Palladiums.
They call it the Palisades, bro.
Who wants to see a show about defensive walls?
It's not about defensive walls.
That's what Palisades means.
Such a good show.
Yeah, it's a good one. Party Down we're talking about.
Yeah. Ooh. This episode partially brought to you by Party Down. There's only 2 seasons of it out, but they're both amazing. You should watch them.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite show.
That's a really
So
good
are we just doing ads mid-show now?
Well,
We're not even taking breaks to do our ads?
Felt like it deserved a shout. It was that was more of a shout out, I think.
Oh, there's a shout out?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can do shout outs in the middle of the show.
We can shout out to whatever we want.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave that in then.
I'm going to leave a shout out to Starbursts right now.
Starburst shout out? I love Starburst.
I like
You know what I like
Starburst.
to do before I eat my Starburst?
Smush 2 or 3 of them together.
No, I like to leave it in the wrapper.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I smash it and smash it good for a while until it gets
Like
soft,
taffy-ish.
taffy-ish, and I smash it into a ball. Okay,
Huh.
and then I put it in my pocket.
Right.
Keep it there for several hours.
Uh-huh.
I usually fall asleep
Right.
with it, And then
Like, are you on top of it, like heating it with the warmth of your
yeah,
body?
and I roll different directions.
Okay,
and
so it's
who
a whole
knows? Who knows
process.
where I end up?
So it's
I
getting
sleep
mashed,
weird.
getting warmed and cooled.
Right. So
much like the earth in its youth.
Right. So then the next morning, I get up from sleeping, and I have my Starburst in my pocket, and then I inject them into my birth sac.
Is this your birth sac or the birth sac in which your offspring is being...
Yes, of course. The birth sac in which my offspring is being housed.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Because everyone knows you got to keep injecting food into that sac.
Yeah, but I want my baby to grow up strong.
Yeah, so
Strong and
Starburst-
healthy, so Starburst.
Yeah, Starburst is the way to go.
You leave the wrappers on too.
Yeah.
Because the wrappers are...
Well, it gets stronger trying to get it
You eat the skin of an
off.
apple. You eat the skin of a plum. It's healthy for you.
Oh, man, there's so many...
Yeah, Starburst skin.
It's like, well, that's where all the vitamins and nutrients are in Starburst.
Exactly.
Like the inside
exactly.
is
That's
all...
the sweet part. It's the sweet part.
Yeah,
and
but
then
you got to
the
eat
nutrients
the
part is on the
nutrients
wrapper.
also. The counterbalance. It's got enough fiber to handle the sugars in the candy beneath.
Right.
Everyone knows that.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I didn't.
What
I,
else?
I
JB,
did
what
not
else, JB?
before we start doing our
exiting?
our exodus. I never answered my own question. I feel like that's rude
Oh, okay.
to do.
Your favorite Batman villain?
Yeah, and I think it's not something you really see a lot. You see it a lot more in like the newer movies, the new three, and it's only in a couple scenes. Progressive taxes. I don't know if you know this. Like Wayne Industry they have to pay a lot of money to the old government. Need to. And,
Yeah, and the whole time that the Batman is dealing with various villains,
right.
in the back of his mind, he's thinking about his statements,
Well,
his
I mean,
financial statements.
He's got his P&Ls.
Yeah,
he's
got
his
he's got his CFO all over his back.
And if he has any restaurants, he's worried about per capita. He's got. I mean, that's just if he has a restaurant. I'm sure he has several.
He's
bars.
got a restaurant bar. He's got a gym.
Everyone's got to
He's got a
have
tanning
their
salon.
like TABC certification.
Yeah, and he has so many people calling him with all these petty questions and petty problems, and he's like,
"Hey, bro,
just he needs he needs a couple of assistants.
He really needs to hire a lot, but the last one he hired, Alfred Pennyworth.
Yep.
So I mean, how are you going to trust?
So
how are you going to trust
basically,
anyone else?
The bane, if you will, of Batman is Alfred Pennyworth and taxes.
Yeah. Progressive taxes.
Progressive taxes.
Well, because I mean, they affect the richer more than the poorer.
Right, and as you get richer, you pay more in taxes.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a percentage tax.
Exactly.
Yeah.
JB, do we have any plugs, or do we want to throw a recap down, or
Once again, I think it's a little bit too late for a recap down.
Okay, well, we can talk about maybe a recap.
We can recap. I'm okay with recapping. So we went hard into my day-to-day, the question about Batman
we spent
villains.
so much analyzing the question.
It was
so much
a
time
lot of
analyzing
time
the question.
just really breaking it all down. And I feel like the listener appreciates that. Like they have a full grasp of not just the question, but the answer.
And if you really want to know more at this point, you should probably just go ahead and back it on up, start it over,
right,
and then come back to this point, and you'll be that much more educated.
I mean, so that'll be twice that you've
That'll be actually
listened to it.
three times now.
Is it three?
That would be 3 times. Yeah, it's a total of 3 times you need to listen to. On your third run, you actually get to the ending.
What else did we talk about? We talked about all the new and exciting one-shot podcasts we're going to be doing.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do all kinds of new podcasts.
We talked about Jonathan Davis going to come on for.
Did we?
We did at the very beginning.
I don't recall that.
Yeah, it was a really long time ago.
That was a long time ago. This is a bit of a long one.
But that's okay. It strengthens the content.
The podcast bond.
Oh yeah, I think camaraderie.
Maybe we should call our podcast the Podcast Bond.
The bonds of casting.
Yeah, and we'll
Castamere. Just make it about casting spells.
Or I was going to go with James Bond.
Fish lines.
James Bond.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, 007.
Yeah, we can just have.
Or bonding different elements.
Yeah, that's also we can get Neil deGrasse Tyson maybe, or Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah, we
here.
can get one of those guys.
Or both, and we can make them fight.
I'm sorry.
Hey, they expect your signature once an episode cackle. Like that. This is that was
so
the one thing we were
you're telling
missing.
me I can't cut that laugh.
Oh, that is
You're not
a
going to let
signature.
me cut that?
That's a signature.
As co-tangent, that pretty much means co-producer.
Right.
As co-tangent, you're not going to let me cut that, huh?
I feel like we'd be letting down the audience if they didn't get at least one of those.
Well, on that note, do you want to close it out?
I think it's time to just wind it on down. I want you to go ahead and turn down your lights. Pop on Netflix. Throw on Bloodline. which I still have not watched.
You
yet.
have to shake and quiver when you say it.
Yeah, I'm not quite perfected it yet.
So when you turn down the lights, you pop down the old Netflix. You might want to turn up the AC, get nice and cool. Pull on a nice sheet. You might want to get on a nice glass of ice water.
Oh, that's so crisp and
You know,
delicious.
it is a Wednesday. You might want to get on your socks because it's Wednesday.
You've been watching Flight of the Conchords again, haven't you?
Yeah.
I don't judge you for that. It's a great show.
Yeah. You know, I went and saw Flight of the Conchords live in Austin.
Fucking dick, you didn't even tell me about it.
I've told you about it. It was a while ago. It was epic.
I'm sure. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was super epic. I saw Dave Chappelle. That was his
Are
first.
you done? Are you done
No,
talking about all
I'm
this
not. No,
cool
I'm
shit
not
that you
done.
did without
I saw
inviting,
Flight of the
inviting me?
Conchords, and then after that,
Uh-huh.
Dave Chappelle did his very first live show since his hiatus, and he was pretty funny. I give him a 70 out of 100.
That's pretty good.
But you know what? He went up there. He looked like he was super high, and he was just like, "Hey, what's up, guys? I don't know. Fuck it. I'm just gonna talk about whatever." So it was cool that he had no plan at all.
Okay.
So I
Pretty
like
cool.
that. Pretty much basically what we do here.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, except for when we have those really thought out planned episodes.
Oh,
Which is
where
pretty
we-
much every app.
Yeah, every app where we lay everything set in stone.
I think our exit may be taking too long.
I think it's the perfect length because I think that everyone's now had time to prep up,
Oh, they've
Get
got
ready for
They're about to hit play on.
bed or yeah. Which I've read up a little bit. I don't think it's a horror based thing at all.
No, not at all.
It's
No,
just-
it's a family drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So great choice of voice.
Yeah, that's what I say.
When I hear that voice, I think family drama. I know some people out there might have been thinking horror show, but no, that's stupid. Just listen to the. It's in between.
Should I
it.
do it one more time? So
Maybe, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be one more time. Listen for the genre and what you're about to hear right now. If that's not a family drama, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's the perfect family drama intro to a
Yeah.
show.
Bloodline, if you guys want to use that, feel free. You know, that's on us.
Feel free to bite that.
That's on us. And if you want to give us maybe a little shout out in your show, have
Yeah, don't
someone
forget
listen.
us to hit us up on Twitter
Yeah.
at Shibbly Bibbly Boop. That's Shibbly Bibbly Boop.
Yeah, don't fuck that up, guys.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a lot of letters.
Yeah, shibbly bibbly boop. Or at TBD DOS podcast.
And hopefully by the time anyone hears this, we'll actually have used these Twitter accounts. Because I haven't used it once.
Man, I created it about a week ago and then went about my day.
That's right.
It was pretty nice.
Because we live in real life.
Yeah.
This is talking about real life?
Oh, are we back to an episode of talking about
I think
real
we're
life?
back to an episode of talking about real life.
And we are here with an episode of Talking About Real Life. This is JB.
And this is JB.
Oh, man, we're just talking about real life right now. We're talking about Twitter accounts and, you know, how that's not real life. A lot of people out there, they jump on the Twitter at home or the book of facing. You know, go out. Go out into a field. Pick some flowers.
Get some dirt on your shoes.
Yeah, rub some dirt on your face.
Let's hear. Just let one bead of sweat trickle down your head.
Yeah, rub some dirt on your friend's face. Just force them into nature. This is what I want you to do. Go out to a field with a bucket. You fill it up with dirt, grubs, whatever's around, like leaves that have fallen on the ground, small sticks. Then you go somewhere, you go to your work, and you just start dumping a little bit of it out on each one of your coworkers as they're going about their day. Just, you know, and they're going to thank you for it. They're going to be like, hey, if you work at a restaurant, someone's about to take a bite of their food, you know, dump it on them.
Yeah, just pour dirt right into their tuna salad.
Pour dirt, like right into their fucking mouth. And they'll be like, hey, you know, I haven't been out in the woods for a while. Thank you for reminding me of that. I'm going to go, here's a 200% tip. You don't even need to box this shit up. I'm just going to leave now. And I'm going to go out and just frolic in the sunshine for a while.
So now that all of our listeners have proper instructions, then we can close up talking about real life.
Yeah. And that was talking about real life.
All right. So on that note, we're just going to give you a nice,
Gentle,
scholarly,
yet firm
but also friendly
goodbye.
goodbye.
If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can find me, JB, at TBD DOS Podcast, or JB, my cotangent, at Shibbly Bibbly Boop. Thanks for listening.